Good morning. I'm the tutor for History of Policing in Namibia. The scope. What are we expected to handle today? We'll start with tutor introduction, aims of the conduct class, structure of the examination, the explanation towards the continuous assessment calculation marks, examination preparations and tips, and then we'll conclude. My name is George Magop. I'm having a BTech degree in forensic investigation, and I'm currently studying towards policing honors. I have the relevant experience in policing, from which I obtained during between 93 and 2013. It is about 21 years of policing experience, of which I have spent 20 years in the investigative field with various portfolios like an investigator, unit commander, and the staff officer to the regional crime investigation coordinator. My current position is that I'm a senior financial intelligence analyst at the FIC, Bank of Namibia. Why do we have the contact class? We want to make sure that you as a student prepare for the exams due in 2019. We want to ensure best possible change that you will do well, discuss the examination structure with you, explain continuous assessment and calculation of the marks to you, and give you basic tips. Now, the structure of the examination paper. The exam session will consist of 4 main questions containing sub-questions. It'll count out of 120, converted to 100. You may be required to answer one of 2 questions. In example, choose between question 4.1 or 4.2. Question marks may be ranging between 3 and 25 points. May be expected to discuss, summarize, outline, define, list, and or analyze specific matters. Questions are from the study guide provided by IOL. Now, why do we want to explain the continuous assessment or calculation of the marks to you? To ensure that students take the examination marks seriously and align their studies accordingly. Now, the duration of the examination for 20 credits of this subject is 2 hours 30 minutes, and it is a written exam consisting of 100 marks. The continuous assessment and calculation. Final pass mark of 50% is required, calculated by 60% of the examination mark and 40% of the continuous assessment mark. You are expected to have a sub-minimum of 50% attained in your examination. Now, in example, suppose your assignment continuous assessment mark is 50, examination mark is 50. It will be calculated as 40% of 50 equals 20, which is calculated at 50 times 40 divided by 100, and 60% of 50, which is the examination mark, equals 30, which is calculated at 50 times 60 divided by 100. Now your final mark will then be 50. All the setting and marking of examination papers are moderated. Now, for the examination preparations. Write clearly and legibly. Structure your answer through headings and numbers and a logical sequence. Make sure that your student number and all relevant details are, as requested, are written on the answer sheet. Write in blue and black ink. Please do not cheat. It may result in a failing grade. Refrain or avoid dumping relevant and irrelevant facts at the same time. You may lose valuable points. No unauthorized materials, notes, tactical devices may be in your possession when you are in the examination session. If you are responsible for irregularities during writing of an examination, the person in charge of the examination will collect your answering script and evidence. For example, the note that you have taken in. You will be requested to write an explanation or a declaration The answering script, evidence, and declaration will be submitted to the Irregularity Committee for verification. No marks will be allocated for you to the subject that is involved. You will be suspended for 12 months on this particular subject, or 2 consecutive examination sessions. It is an infringement to help others during the examination. Please refrain from doing that. All cell phones must be switched off. It is advisable that you do not take it into the exam venue. You may not leave the exam 30 minutes after the start of the exam and 15 minutes before. A late arrival of 30 minutes after the start of the examination will result in a no turn up being recorded, and you will not be allowed to write the exam. You are reminded that the question papers that remains the property of IOL, so please don't remove any pages thereof. Should you need additional paper, please ask the invigilator or the person in charge of the examination venue. It will be provided to you. Rough work may only be done on the question paper or paper provided by the invigilator. You must sign the checklist before leaving. Smoking and eating in the venue is prohibited. Do not dive into writing your exam. Please read through it first. For questions for 20 marks, write at least 1.5 pages and more. Not half a page for 20 marks. Students will fail to score good marks because of this practice. Now, you have excellent learning outcomes 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Number 1, historic development of the police force. The development of the police force in South Africa and a brief history of the Namibian police force. In example, the policing developments are practiced by the various leaders, the Greek monarch, Saloon, Egypt, Ramses, Roman emperor, etc. 6 stages the history and development of policing has gone through over time. Individual responsibilities of the police, events, and the amalgamation that's resulted in the police being unable to fulfill their functions. History of the establishment of the Namibian police force and the development over time. The origin of common law and its practices during ancient times. The systematic policing systems, which is referred to as the Order of the Winchester. A system of collective behavior and how it developed over time. No Henry Fielding, Dr. Patrick Colquhoun, and Sir Robert Peel as successful contributors and famous pioneers in the establishment of the formal policing system. Unorganized quasi-policing, organized policing, structural development of the police force, historical background of the policing in Namibia, for example, colonial masters and SWAPO in exile, types of transgressions, important phases in the development of policing in South Africa, specific lessons for modern policing by the Order of Winchester, systematic policing systems, in example, the marching watch, the high constable, the petty constable, and how King Henry transformed legislation. In conclusion, 1 fact, 1 mark. If you give me 1 fact, I'll give you 1 mark. Framework of exam investigation requires that you know and understand all concepts and techniques, number your facts or use bullets to indicate points, avoid dumping of relevant and irrelevant facts at the same time, start your examination preparations early by making relevant notes to study, follow the instructions closely, use your best handwriting, short questions may be included, and best of luck with your examination preparations. Thank you.